What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode, and I think this is going to be the final installment of US 500 or S&P 500. So I've done the 5-minute back test, I've done a 15-minute back test, and now I'm about to do the final one, which is the 1-hour back test. Okay, so if you haven't seen those videos, make sure you go check them out. All right. Okay, so first things first, we're on a day. So we're gonna get rid of all of this, right? So we can't see anything. Reason why I'm doing it in this way is just so that I'm not biased in terms of how I overall analyze and backtest this market. So I want to try and approach it like I'm trading in real life, all right? Because in real life, you don't have the benefit of being able to see what's taking place in the future, all right? And also as well, if you find this content useful, okay, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. Also, if you want to, leave a little comment as well, that'd be fantastic. And if you want to go above and beyond, obviously you can definitely drop in a super thanks. That will be appreciated also. So with all of that covered, let's do this. All right, so first things first is I'm going to find a place to chop from. Now, since we're on a day, right, I don't really need to go back too far because down here is 2016, over here is more recent times. So let's just say we're just going to do 2018, right? So 2018 is just what we're going to do. And then we're going to bring up the hour. I'm going to drag it down so we can see where everything is. Okay, so sessions are still turned on, which is cool. That's good that is. All right. So we're just gonna just stretch this out a little bit, just make sure it's all looking respectable. Okay. Right, so this is looking good enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to expand the MACD a little because we do use the MACD as well. Okay, so that looks relatively fantastic. Then the next thing, the final thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our resistance and support levels, and we can see them all here. So let me just zoom in and see if this is all looking like how it should. Absolutely fantastic. Great. We're on a 1 hour, so that is fantastic. Okay, so so let's just see where we're going to begin from. So it's coming up towards the end of the day, right, in regards to the back test, because we're using the sessions. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me just do the intro. Of what we got going on, in case you're seeing this for the first time. All right, so this is a resistance and support back test, right, because that is my actual trading style. I've done backtesting videos on all types of indicators. In all fairness, I don't actually use those indicators, right? There is two indicators that I use, right, all the time, and that is the MACD, the moving averages, which I'm about to explain, and resistance and support level. These three things make up my overall actual trading style, and that's what I backtest on the weekend, because that is what I'm trying to refine to make sure it's perfect, and that is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So the first thing is the configuration. So the configuration of the moving average are set as follows. First, we have the 200 moving average. That's the red line. That's right at the bottom right here. Okay. Then we have the 20 moving average. That's the blue line running through, or the blue signal line running through. Okay. Sometimes I change that to a 9, but in most cases I keep it to a 20 because the 20 is more stronger than the 9, in my opinion. Down here we have the MACD, and I'm using the impulse MACD. Okay, reason being is that it also shows me areas of when market goes into a range. Okay, so it kind of flatlines, so it lets me know there's not really a lot going on. So do I want to take a trade? What do I want to do, basically, right? So it kind of helps me out in regards to that, and I think that is a more superior MACD than the traditional one we normally use, okay? But the overall settings are roughly about the same, okay? And then finally, let me explain to you about these levels you're seeing over here, okay? So this line that you're seeing in the middle right now, this thick one, this is the support resistance level depending on where it is, right? And I have them drawn all over this chart, right? Like all over. And then these levels up here and these levels up here are a distance of 20 pips away from what's going on in here, okay? And the 20 pips distance is my comfortable stop loss, right? So for example, if I put in a trade over here, I would use this area as my stop loss, which is 20 pips. And if I traded down here, I could use this area as my stop loss, which is 20 pips, or I could go to the top and that would be 40 pips. So overall, maximum I can risk in any trade would be 40 pips, but ideally I try to keep it to 20. All right. So in this zone here is where ideally I would like to place trades, right? So I want to place trades in this zone. I don't really want to be outside of the zone when I trade, but if I can help it, I want to be in this zone when I trade. All right. Okay. So first things first, let us begin. So it's coming to the end of the day right now in regards to the New York session. So we're just going to hit play, and since I'm not going to be active during that time, I won't trade anything. We'll just let it do its thing until the London session opens. Oh, and that's what these are. These little boxes over here, these are the sessions. So this is the London session. Let me just zoom in. I think it's going to be a lot better if I zoom in. Okay, so this is the London session, and this is the New York session, and they tend to overlap, obviously because of the time difference, etc. But this is what we mainly use because those are the hours when I'm actually up and awake functioning. So either I'm at work or I am trading, but either way, it's when I can trade, right? So it's either I put in a trade first thing in the morning before I head off to the office, or I put in a trade when I get back from the office because the markets will still be open, right? So that's what these are there for. And ideally I kind of want to trade during these hours, but if it requires, I can trade outside of these hours, because the main thing is the strategy, right? And then we try to bring that into the time zones if and when possible. So we're going to zoom back out real quick. Let's zoom back out, and then we're going to hit play. Let's see what happens. Okay, so London's now open, right? London's now open, which is great. We're about 3 hours into the London session right now. All right, there is a couple things I can see in this area right now, right? And that is we have a nice little squeeze happening, which is this right here. Okay, so we have a nice little squeeze taking place. And whenever I see this happening, right, I always know that there's going to be a breakout at some point. Now, as it stands, I want to be in this zone. So how do I want to play this? How do I want to play this? Okay, so first things first, what I am going to do is, because it's under this resistance or support level, depending on what we're looking at. So at the moment, it looks like it is a resistance level, all right, just based on where everything is, right? But that it could also be a support. It just depends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a short position, right? And I'm going to put in a short position in this zone. I'm going to put it just under, right? And I'm going to target this area as my potential stop loss. Now this stop loss is super tight because I got it in at 11 pips. And then what I'm going to aim to try to do, okay, providing it works out, is I'm going to target all the way down here. All the way down here is where I'm going to target, and that is 88 pips all the way down to the downside. Okay, so we got 11 pips on the top, that's the risk, and then we have all of this going on. So it's roughly 7, yeah, so it's a 1-to-7 ratio, give or take, right? So let's hit play and let's see what happens, if we get it or not. Okay, so it's triggered. Now it's heading to the 200 moving average. So is it going to bounce off it and then do me dirty, or is it just going to break through and ride it down to the bottom, right? Oh, and also another thing as well that I do is I restrict myself to this specific time frame. So the 1 hour is what I'll be using. I will not be going up in time to get an idea as to what direction market is moving in. We're just going to strictly restrict myself to the 1 hour, right? So it may work out, it may not, but I find that if I do get it right, it really is rewarding in terms of how everything kind of goes, right? It can be super rewarding. So let's have a look to see what we've got going on right now. Okay, fantastic, great stuff. So I'm going to explain what's just happened, right? So let me just put this on pause for a minute. So as we can see, right, we have the squeeze right here, and this squeeze went on for a little while. It went on for a little while. So this is it right here. Okay, so we had the squeeze, then we had the break above the squeeze, or a fake out, right? And now it's pushed all the way back down again. Okay, and we have a cross of the moving average, the moving averages. So the moving average 200 and the moving average 20. Okay, now on the 1 hour, it actually is a good signal. Okay, so we're going to see how this kind of plays out, but so far I'm kind of happy with how everything is looking, and as I can see, there is no need for me to bring in a trading stop as it stands right now. So just going to hit play, and that's how everything goes down. Okay, let's just see if it's going to work out or just work against me. And with this backtest as well, what I'm doing is I'm taking it all the way to either TP, or as close to TP as possible, or we're gonna ride it all the way down to stop loss, like what's just taking place now. So we've been stopped out, right? We've taken a hit in this game right now. We've taken a loss, which is fine. Okay, so we've lost this one. So let's just have a look to see what we've got going on. Okay, so price is still pushing up. Right? It's come down, it's pushed up. So it would have been nice to get it at this level. But let's see if it leaves above this line over here, if it leaves above this resistance or support level, and then I can then assess how I'm going to move after. So let's just zoom in real quick, and let's just hit play button, and let's see what we get. Okay, so as it stands right now, I do want to enter the market. Right now, it could go against me, but I know that my stop isn't crazy, right? My stop isn't crazy. It's something that I can handle because we've done all the work previous. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put in a buy. So I'm going to put in a buy. So I'm going to do a market buy straight into the market, right? And then I'm going to bring my stop just under. Okay, so roughly about 11 pips stop, and I am super comfortable with that because remember the maximum is 40 pips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my TP all the way up here. So we're going to do 111 pips TP, and we're going to hit play, and we're going to see how this works out. And what's funny, right, yeah, is that around 2018, I was nowhere near as good as I am right now in regards to trading. So my assessment on the market was beyond low. It was terrible, as a matter of fact. But now everything seems to be moving in a direction that I like to see. Okay, so I'm going to hit pause right now, right? So as it stands right now, so if I bring in a little measuring tool, let's see what we've got. So as it stands, at this level right here, we have a 1-for-1 ratio. Okay, so we have a 1-for-1 ratio risk reward, right? So what I'm going to do is, it is a bit premature, but I'm going to bring in a trading stop at this level. Okay, so worst case scenario, I've made back my loss in this location over here. All right, so we're still doing good. So let's hit play and let's just see how everything kind of pans out. Okay, so let me pause it for a minute. Let me zoom in this area. Okay, so over here is I can move my trading stop to this level, because I believe that price, if it does come down, is going to come down to this zone right here. It's going to come down to this zone right here, and we have an order block sitting right there. So we have an order block in this zone right now. So what I could do, if I'm comfortable with taking on an extra buy, is I can put in another position round about here. I'm not going to do that because it's not necessary to do so, right? But because this is just a back test, so we just want to make sure that how we move in the market is correct. But this area is an area that we definitely would be marking out if this was a real live back test. And if price did return back to the zone, we would then be putting in another position to add to the existing position, bearing in mind we've secured some profits just below. So either way, it's still going to be good. You know, it's still going to be fantastic. So let's hit play and let's see what we get. So far this trade has been running for about 3 days. We're going into day number 4 now. Okay, let's hit pause on that. Let's zoom out briefly. And let's expand. Okay. So as it stands, I would then bring my trailing stop up to this level right here, just under it, right? Let's get rid of this over here. Let me zoom in again. Okay, so trailing stop is just under here. Okay, we have an order block at this location right here. Okay, so let me get my finger jig out. Let me get my tool out. Let's set this up. So no, I didn't want that. Okay. Okay, so it's in the zone as it stands right now, because we have an order block here. It's gone into that order block. It looks like price wants to push down. So what I'm going to do, because obviously I've secured all of this, right, and even the size of the stop loss I'm going to put up here is going to put me in the green, and I'm not going to lose anything in regards to this trade. Overall, I'm going to be profitable. So I'm just going to put in another buy, and I'm just going to put in a buy right here, and I'm just going to target this zone right here. I'm going to target this, I'm just going to target this zone over here. So stop loss is about 5 pips, which is fantastic. So we have a 5 pip stop loss. Let's go up, and we want to take TP to the zone right here. Okay. So, and according to the MACD, this thing is flying down, right? It is flying down. But like I always say with these indicators, you kind of got to use your own judgment in regards to how you interpret the information that is being given to you. So let's see what happens. So it's been triggered. Eep. So that was not a good trade at all, right? That was not a good trade at all, but still we're overall profitable because, like I say, the stop loss was only 5 pips and it hasn't even made a dent in the overall gains that we've made so far. So we've covered that position, we've absorbed this loss, and so far we're still doing good, but let's see what happens. Let's see if we get stopped out. Okay, so far we're doing good. Let me pause this for a minute. So this zone where I had my trailing stop, I should have thought about putting that buy in that location, but I literally thought this was the best place for it to go. Okay, well, you live and you learn. So let's just keep that going. Let's hit play. Okay. So let me see, there's another suitable place for me to add in a... So let's just hit stop. Let's move this trailing stop up here now. Let's move it up here. This is not really a good place to put the trailing stop just because of this level over here. There's a very high chance the price will come to the zone. A very, very, very high chance that it will. I hope it doesn't, but there is a chance it will. I hope I'm wrong. So we've made it up to the first level. Okay, we've made it up to the first level. So at this point, I could keep the trailing stop where it is, which is right here, or I could move it up to this zone right here, okay, to get as much of it as possible, or I could keep everything as it is and see if we get to TP, which is going to be at the top. But at this level, I'm going to be bringing in a very tight trailing stop, right? It shouldn't get to this zone right here, but it's already in the zone already. So this is where normally I would like to be taking position if I want to go in the opposite direction, right? So it's in a zone. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens, if it's going to break down or if it's going to keep pushing up. Okay, and it is keep pushing up. So at this point right now, it makes sense, absolute sense, to lock all of this in. Okay, we've done very, very, very well. Very well. We've made all of our profits back. I mean, all of our losses, we've made every single one of it back, plus interest. Okay, so now let's just see if we get to TP. And this position has been going for a while. This is an absolute solid swing trade. This absolute solid swing trade. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, trading US 500 in 2018 is actually relatively easy. When I actually think about it, I think I am slightly biased because I kind of know. Okay. Right, so we didn't get TP, but we definitely got a trailing stop hit. Okay, so we got it in the zone. We've done well. We've done well. It was fantastic. It's a good move. So let me just bring this back right here. Yep, this is perfect. Okay, this is perfect. So we're out. We got out in the evening, which is really cool. It would have been nice if I got it up here though, in all fairness, but wherever it is fantastic. Okay, so now price is pushing down. It looks like it's making its way to the 200 moving average. Okay, so let's just hit play, because at this point I genuinely would not do anything because I've got a huge gain right now, and obviously we're out of the sessions, so there is no need for me to do anything, but there is a need for me to do something now. There definitely is a need for me to do something now. So what do I do in this situation right here? It's in the zone, right? I'm thinking about putting in a sell because I'm expecting price to pull back down to the zone. But what it is I would do, because if you look at this overall trend over here, it's a solid uptrend, solid, right? And let's look at the lows to see if any big lows have been broken so far. No lows have been broken. So this was the first low of the trend. So this was the first low, and literally we had a double bottom right here, right? And this low that we got right here, because according to the MACD, all of this is part of one move, okay? It hasn't gone below this. So essentially, I want to be looking for buys supposing to sells. So let's just let this play on, because we're in the London session right now. So either way, I have to think about where I want to put my stop if I want to buy directly into the market right now. And you know what? I think I'm going to buy directly into the market right now. We're going to buy directly in. So you're going to put in a buy position. And also we have the 20 moving average, which is just gone under the candles, okay? It's not exactly a strong indicator, okay? Just because it's gone under doesn't really mean anything. But in the overall trend, it does kind of help a little bit. It does kind of help a little bit. So, okay. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to target this area up here. So we're going to target this area up here, okay? We're going to bring in a trailing stop. Should it get to this level or should it get to this level? And if we go above this level, then we definitely have more than one for one ratio, because at the moment stop loss is set to 11 pips again, right? So we're doing really well with our stop loss. Our risk management is fantastic. It is absolutely great. So let's see what we get. Okay. So far we're doing good. Wait, let me just pause this for a minute and let me assess what's going on here. Okay. So we have a level up here. The price isn't actually breaking above right now. Okay, it's playing games. Okay, let's see if the MACD can tell us anything to help us out. So it's in a down. I'm taking a buy position, so that's fantastic that we're doing it, right? And let's see what we got going on. Okay, so far MACD isn't really telling us much, right? So we're just going to stay the course and see what happens. So it definitely is ranging in that zone, it's bouncing. So it's definitely bouncing in that range. We just needed to break above. It kind of almost did. It definitely is starting to squeeze up a little bit. Okay, let's just drag this along. So let's just see the distance. Because it's kind of moving like this right now, I might want to bank something. So currently where price is 20 pips in. Our stop is 11. So I could bring in a trading stop about now. I could do that. I could definitely do that. And why would I want to do that? So why would I want to bring in a trading stop about now? Because is it losing momentum? Let me watch this for a little bit longer and just to see if it is. If it is. Okay, it's not. It's not. We're still back in the game. We're still back in the game. We've got this secured. We've got this in the bag. Okay, so with that, Let me find a place to bring in a trailing stop, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a trailing stop right here. So at this level I have 1-to-2 ratio, 1-to-2. So my stop is 20 pips. I mean my stop is 11 pips, and I have secured 20 pips worth of profits right now. So I've doubled. So it makes sense to actually bring something in there to secure what I have, and let's see if you get to TP. So this is a solid swing trade as well. This one is going on for a little while also. Okay, da, 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 da. Okay, we're getting close to let's hit pause. What do we have going on here? Okay, so we have a level down here which corresponds to this zone right here. Okay, so if I want to add in another trade, I would want to do it from this level so long as the trend continues to push up. So off the assumption that this is just going to keep going up, right? Because the trend is very strong to the upside, and I haven't seen a single cross as of yet of the moving averages. The last time it was over here somewhere. It was over here somewhere, I believe, right? Okay, so it hasn't crossed in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a little something right here. Right, we're going to target where my trailing stop is, which is right here. Right, TP is going to be where the original TP is, right here, and then we're going to see how that goes. But so far, if this moves against us, we've already made our profit in this zone over here. We're just going to be walking away with a little bit less than what would have been if we had not put in that trade. So let's just see what happens if it actually goes to that zone or not, because it might. Jeez. Okay. Well, this is not happening. So let's get rid of this one here. This is not happening. It's definitely gone past that. Imagine just as I removed it, it then does it. That would be borderline upsetting. I literally should have brought in a trailing stop. It actually went into the zone and I missed it. Ooh. Let me see if that would have triggered. Nope, it would not have. It would not have. It would not have. So we're just going to leave that as it is, right? Let's just drag this along. He almost came into the zone though. He almost came into the zone. You know what? I think I'm actually going to put in another buy in this location. I'm going to put in another buy in this location. We're going to target this area as we did before. We're going to drag it up, and then we're going to see if it actually does come into it or not. So one or two things: either it's going to go all the way up and hit TP, or it's actually going to close us out. So 13 pip stop. That's reasonable. So let's just hit play and see what happens. So price looks like he wants to push down. Okay, so it's got in. We've been triggered. Don't stop me, please. Don't stop me. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't do it. 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 Okay, let's hit pause. Let's drag my trailing stop all the way to about over here to make sure that it's in. Okay, let's just see what happens. See, this is a good play or a bad play. Right now it's play. Oh, so we're out. We're out in all positions. So this is done as dirty. Price has come to the trailing stop and closes out. So that is it. That is it for now. Okay. So my particular strategy that I'm using right now, that I'm trying to perfect, is looking relatively solid. It's looking relatively solid. So we done 3 trades. We won 2 and lost 1. No, we done 4. Actually, no. We done more than that. So we done 5 trades. So we done 1 trade over here. Let me bring this back actually. Right, okay. So we done 5 trades. So we took a loss over here. We won this one. We lost this one in the middle right here. Okay. We won this one and we lost this one right here. So 2 trades won, 3 losses, and the loss and the wins once again outperformed the losses. So a very, very, very good result. All right. So guys, if you found this backtest useful, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and drop us a like. So whenever I release a video on actual technical analysis that I normally do, you'll be one of the first to see it. So with all of that covered, my awesome people from around the world, thank you for coming over to watch another episode, and I will see you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. So for now, this is Pips and Points signing out.